Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode showcase. I'm not sure what these are. Um, whoops, sorry. But yeah, these are I don't know, the How Viable Are series. So welcome back to the second episode. As you can see, I have three Pokemon, and I think by seeing this first one, it should make sense as to what we're looking at today. Those being the Pokemon Wack starters. I got a comment actually just recently on one of the last videos saying that these should be in encounter order as opposed to numerical order. I think that's much smarter than what I've been doing. So I also said that I was going to, switch things around once I have a better handle on things. So this is starting switching things around. I hope you guys liked the Venusaur one. Hopefully this will be just as informative. So yeah, as mentioned, this is going to be the I'm about to get bodied by Croast here. But these are the wax starters. Those being the final evolutions being Arbrood, Steamboatle, and Lava Gun. With these, I'm going to attempt to go over all three of them in a shorter time than I did Venusaur. So we will see. Great. So starting off, the oops, the types of each are Wood Flying for Arbrood, Magma and Tech for Lava Gun, and Steam and Water for Steamboatle. The best abilities for all three of them are going to be Speed Boost, which is the hidden ability for Arbrood, Magma Armor, which is the one of the normal abilities for I can't Lava Gun, and Water Absorb, which is the hidden ability for Steamboatle. Their base stats are 530, 559, and 543 respectively. Um, you know, Definitely Arbrood is built bulkier and more of a physical attacker, where Steamboatle is kind of a mixed speedy attacker. And then finally, um, Lava Gun is kind of an all around special special mon. They all have megas, and the let's see, Arbrood has a stat of 630 with the ability Rockhead. Um, Lava Gun has a base stat total of 659 with the ability Sheer Force, and Steamboatle has 653, which is actually an increase of 110 and not 100, and has the ability Water Absorb. So all three of these are able to be met in Whacktown, and as far as the tier list goes, Arbrood is a tier 7. It makes it to about the Sun pretty handily. Um, and Steamboatle and Arbrood are both tier 1s, meaning that they make it through the Everything Rush and can beat Mega Shedinja. So when looking at strengths and weaknesses kind of as a whole, all three of them have pretty well-rounded stats and a good typing. They all have some pretty varied move pools, which is nice. They all have access to great abilities, both hidden and non-hidden regular abilities. They all have access to permanent megas, which do not use up the Miststone, which is nice. And um, outside of a few fights, they're all great against most early and mid game trainers. Lava Gun being especially good for mid to late game, with the exception of a few trainers, which I'll cover in a second. It's also nice that all three of them are given for free, and you have the ability to receive all three of them on your team after the Elite Four. Um, Now for some weaknesses for the three. Obviously, Arbrood kind of falls behind in terms of usability. I would say the first major drop-off point is after John, right before Upgrade Cave, but definitely there is some falling off when compared to the other two. Steamboatle and Lava Gun, definitely there are some late game fights that they both struggle with. Um, and Steamboatle specifically is going to need some team support to get past some of these. The Waxstone well, it is available. It's not available until just before the Everything Rush, and it costs a ton of money. I think it's either 999,999 or 499,999, whatever. It's either the max money or half of it. And so you are able to get multiple, but they're niche in that they only really work for these three Pokemon, and they're available very late game. If you do decide to put these on the team, um, even though they are available at the Elite Four, you still need to grind them up about 75 to 80 levels at that point to make them usable. And oh, I put this in the weaknesses. This is meant to be a strength, so my bad. But one more strength about these is that Lava Gun is one of the best Pokemon to use in the Everything Rush out of all of the Wackmon evolution lines, as it can natively get past Mega Shedinja with the amount of fire, lava, and tech moves that it learns with secondary effects like poison and burn. Steamboat is also able to. It gets access to Scald and a couple of other moves, but less easily. Then, as far as tough trainers go, Kanto is doable for all three of them, but the problem is it's a little bit harder and less forgiving than Whack. So all three kind of struggle more than they would uh, at the same points in Whack, just because the trainer typings aren't as good. Then I'll go through, starting with Arbrood. Some of these tough trainers are Jeeve, Hiroshima, the entirety of the Arctic, and especially Gowan, the Sun, and kind of corrupted the whole corrupted soul deal. Let's see, also Mars a little bit. That kind of horror section between corrupted soul and the planets. Those are all pretty hard for Arbrood. Then for Steamboatle, and then I guess the Hiroshima and Jeeve Rush part. For Steamboatle, there's Duet is pretty tough. Hiroshima as well. Gowan, less so the Arctic, but sometimes. The Sun and the Corrupted Soul. The Slogoth Pit. The Moon. The battle with Luna, and then Mars. And then basically the entirety of the planet section. And then for Lava Gun, some of the hard there are significantly fewer fights that are tougher for Lava Gun, but there are a few, specifically Mercury, Neptune, Uranus, and the Deep King when you fight him. And then looking at hymns, Lava Gun struggles with water, ground, virus, rock, and wood. Steamboatle struggles with grass, flying, wind, cosmic, and magma. And Arbrood struggles with fire, steam, steel, nuclear, plastic, food, tech, and poison. So those are kind of, again, as there are always Pokemon that are better at certain things, and there are always trainers that will give a Pokemon a tough fight. So just because there are a list doesn't mean they're necessarily bad. And obviously, in the case of Lava Gun and slightly less so Steamboatle, they're honestly two of the best Pokemon that you can get, and being able to get them so early is a really great way to secure them on the team. So that's very nice. I would say, as far as viable sets, I'm not going to go as into it as I did with Venusaur. I think I'll save that for single ones. But all three of them take on an offensive role, but in slightly different capabilities. So Lava Gun is definitely a pure special sweeper. It can run mixed, especially the Mega. It has a base 135 attack stat, but its special attack is a little bit higher. It learns mostly special moves as well. Sorry, just looking at time here. Oh, we got plenty of time. This is great. Steamboatle is like a fast mixed sweeper. You can also run it mixed. You can choose either special or physical, but its moveset lines up to being slightly better on the physical side. And Arbrood is definitely the bulkiest of the three, and it uses a lot of recoil moves, so the Mega getting Rockhead really helps with some of these stabs like Woodhammer, um, and things like Submission and things like that. But Arbrood is definitely the bulkiest of the three. You'd want to use it in a physical sense. Definitely, it has very low special attack comparatively, and it's definitely built for more of kind of a stallier team. It has access to a lot of these good things like Toxic, and it has the defensive stats and typing to back it up. Let's see. So I think that's everything. Yeah, I would definitely say, as far as team structure goes, you definitely want to use one of these three at the very least until or through the Elite Four. But these are all Pokemon that you can take to the end of the game with very little issue. So I think with that, let me know if there are any Mons that you want to see specifically. I think the next one is I think I am going to start to follow kind of the encounter order. I'm going to start with Wack and then move into Kanto and Kuki and that kind of stuff, and then go with some of those Wonder Trade only ones. Unless you guys want to see it in numerical order, in which case then I'll go back to Charizard. I do want to shout out Prolostique. I don't think I shouted him out. No, I didn't. But he sent me basically a Charizard. I'll give a little spoiler here. Charizard has, almost a dozen Mega Evolutions, including the Gigantamax form. So he sent me sets for just about every single form, which was super helpful. I was planning on making this be the Charizard video, but it turns out that this is going to be the Wax starter video, obviously. But I just wanted to give him a shout out before I forget, because it was super, super helpful. So if any of y'all have any sets for Pokemon, I would absolutely love to have them. It's super helpful to have and super helpful to bake into these kinds of videos. I think that's everything. So I'm not going to give away necessarily what the next episode is going to be. I'm going to try and get it out within a week, just so that there's a little bit less time between now and then. But until then, thank you all for watching. This has been another episode, showcase, whatever we call it. I'll figure it out eventually, of how viable is it in Pokemon Wack. And this has been... God, I'm forgetting my own outro. Jesus Christ, am I sloppy. My name is Mr. Singer187, and I will see you all very soon.